tiny wooden birds keep appearing in my home. I've never told anyone this before, because it sounds absolutely ridiculous. For the past 2 months, tiny, hand-carved wooden birds have been appearing in my apartment. It started innocently enough. I found the first one, a small robin, perched on my bookshelf. I'd had friends over the night before, so I just assumed one of them had left it, maybe a thoughtful little gift. I put it on my desk and thought nothing more of it. A week later, I found a tiny sparrow on my kitchen counter, right next to the coffee maker. This time, I hadn't had any visitors. My doors were locked, windows shut tight. I live alone. It was unsettling, but I convinced myself I must have just overlooked it from before. Maybe it had fallen from the bookshelf and I hadn't noticed. Then came the wren, on my bathroom sink. Followed by a blue tit on my bedside table. Always when I was alone, always in a slightly different, very noticeable spot. Each bird was intricately detailed, no bigger than my thumb, and clearly handmade. I started checking my locks obsessively, even setting up a cheap motion-activated camera in my living room, but it never triggered. The thought that someone was entering my apartment undetected, just to leave these odd little gifts, made my skin crawl. Was it a prank? A warning? Or was I just losing my mind? The fear escalated when I found a tiny owl inside my locked jewelry box. This was impossible. The box was kept in a locked drawer, and I was the only one with a key. I stared at the little wooden creature, my heart pounding. How could it be there? I started to genuinely question my sanity, replaying every moment, every time I'd been alone. The answer, when it came, was surprisingly mundane and a little heartwarming. My grandmother had recently passed, and I had inherited her old, heavy mahogany wardrobe. It had been sitting in my spare room, mostly untouched. A few days ago, I finally decided to empty it properly. As I pulled out one of the lower drawers, something snagged. I gave it a harder tug, and with a soft thud, a small, hidden panel on the side of the wardrobe shifted. Inside, nestled amongst a few old letters, was a small, velvet bag. I opened it. It was full of dozens of these tiny wooden birds. One of the letters, dated years ago, was from my grandmother. She wrote about her little collection of winged wishes she'd been carving, and her joy in hiding them in unexpected places, just in case someone stumbled upon them later and felt a moment of unexpected wonder. She mentioned how she loved to occasionally release one into a room, hoping it would find its way out of its hiding spot over time due to vibrations or slight movements. I realized then that the birds I'd been finding must have been dislodged from their various hiding spots within the wardrobe itself, slowly migrating out as I moved things around or just from the subtle shifts of an old building. It wasn't a ghost, or an intruder, or me going crazy. It was just my whimsical grandmother, still leaving little moments of wonder, even after she was gone. I keep the tiny robin she left on my bookshelf now. It still makes me smile.